had sort of a bad day today. I got pulled over by a policeman on the way here, and he wasn't happy with me. He came out of his car and he had his ticket book with him, and he stopped right behind me, and I turned around and I told him that I would have a hamburger and fries. He didn't think that was very funny. And then he said, "Why are you in such a hurry?" I said, "Well, I'm getting heat prostitution out here." Okay. Someone's going to be real happy with me today. I was here about 5 o'clock this morning, and I put an envelope under one of these chairs with $500 on it. In it. Did I? I'm not sure if I did that or not. I don't think I did. Disregard. I think that's bullshit. At my age, I'm 78 years old, and at my age, I started thinking of a bucket list. My bucket list is very odd, because I'm very odd. Thank you, Mike. The first thing I'd like to do is dress up as a gorilla, run through a zoo, and scare the shit out of people. The second thing I'd like to do is be shot out of a cannon, nude. That way I don't burn my clothes. Went to the bank the other day, and right next to me, there was a gentleman, and I saw him slip a note to a teller. I said, "Hell no, not on my watch." So I spun around and I tackled that son of a bitch. I had no way of knowing that he couldn't talk. And I had no way of knowing that the slip that he gave the teller was a deposit slip. Now, we all make mistakes. On Mother's Day, I went out to the cemetery to put flowers on my mother's grave. And while I was out there, there was an attendant out there, and he looked at me, he talked to me for a while, and then he asked me if I would be staying. I got a call the other day, and a guy asked me if I would be interested in walking for a cause. And I told him, there is no cause that I can think of that I want to walk. I just invented a new pellet gun. And my pellet gun, you use rabbit pellets. You buy the gun, and I will give you a rabbit. I got in a fight with my wife the other day, and she said, "Bill, you don't know jack shit." Well, she's wrong. I went to school with jack shit. He was in the 3rd grade, and I was in the 4th. Knew his older sister, I don't give a shit. Knew his little brother, I need to take a shit. Knew his parents, they were just dumb shits. Went to the doctor for my annual physical, and he said, "Bill, I don't see too much wrong with you, but you do have early stage of rigor mortis." At my age, I need to go to the Social Security office. Well, I do. I've been going there every day for a year. And I just go there just to fuck with them. I go there, see if I have a check, to see if I need to sign something, anything. I just go down there and say hi. So the other day, I wanted to be first. So as soon as they opened up the doors, I walked in and I was first. So I go up to the counter and the lady says, "Take a number." I said, "I'm the only one here." She said, "I said, take a number." I said, "It makes no sense to me. Why do I need to take a number?" She's getting pissed off. And she says, "Take a number." I said, "Okay." So I took a number and I went and sat down. The minute I sat down, I hear 142. I'm looking around and I said, "Well, that must be me." I stayed in my seat. She says 142. I don't budge. She says 142. I don't budge. Now she's really getting pissed. So she's yelling at me. 142. I said, "Okay." I walked up to her, took a look at her, and I said, "You're a bitch." She knew it, and I knew it. I just bought an alarm clock, and I put it on silence. I don't like being interrupted while I'm sleeping. And I got thinking the other day, I have a permit to carry a gun. But what I want to know, if I went into the library, would I have to have a silencer?
Good one.
Okay, grocery shopping I don't like. So I figured out the best way to go grocery shopping. You go when they're closed. And that way you don't have to run into people. You don't have to look for shopping carts. And you certainly don't have to deal with the checker asking you what's your plans for the rest of the afternoon. The only thing that's bad about that, you can't get a lot in your bag because it's very hard to climb back up the rope that you came down on through the hole in the roof. Even at my age, I was given a letter the other day, and I was accepted to a college. And the college is in Texas. And the college is called Sam Houston Institute of Technology. Now I can tell my family and friends that I'm going to shit. Had a CT scan the other day, and the doctor said, "Well, your spine's fine, but we did find 28 cents and an old bottle cap in your stomach." I got arrested the other night. They said that I was stealing a hummingbird feeder out of somebody's backyard. Well, they had a lineup, and I think it was unfair. There was 5 people in the lineup. The other 4 were girls, and they picked me out. Bought a pocket knife the other day, and I told them to keep the blades. That way I wouldn't hurt myself. Got in a little argument with a guy. He was advertising that he had a yard sale. So I got in a pickup truck and I had some shovels, and I went over to his yard sale. And I asked him, "Okay, I'm here to buy your yard." He said, "The yard isn't for sale." I said, "Well, it doesn't make sense. Why did you advertise it as a yard sale?" So we went round and round over that. He wouldn't sell me his yard. after I retired, I wanted to do something halfway constructive. So I thought, well, I'm going to join a swim club. So I got a hold of the guy that was in charge of the swimming club. And he said, Bill, I want you to come down to the river and I'll talk to you down there. So I did. I went down to the river and he says, I don't know you from Adam. I don't know if you can swim, you can't swim, whatever. He said, I want you to swim across the river. I said, swim across the river? I said, okay. He says, the river is marked, and it's got buoys, and it's marked like every 10 yards or something. So I swam exactly halfway, and I looked forward, and I said, I can't go the rest of the way. So I turned around and swam back. I noticed my wife was in the sewing room the other day, and all my clothes were on the floor, and she was doing something with my clothes. And I asked her, I said, what are you doing? She says, Bill, she says, remember when little Billy was 5 years old? We put his address and his telephone number, and if he got lost, they knew where to call. She said, that's what I'm doing for you. I have some real bad luck. I could buy a suit with 2 pairs of pants, and I'd burn a hole in the coat. One thing I do have, though, I got some bargaining skills. I am really good. I went to buy a suit, and I found this Italian suit. They wanted $1,800 for it. I had $1,500. I got over on them, though. I got it for $1,500. They took the sleeves off and removed all the buttons, but I still got it for $1,500. I'm from Vallejo, California, and someone came up to me and asked me if anybody is famous from Vallejo. Yeah, the Zodiac Killer. And I don't know, this group might not know who E40 is. Some of you do. I was having sex with my wife last night, and in the middle of it, I said, honey, am I hurting you? She goes, no. Why do you ask? I said, I thought I felt you move.
Where are you sleeping tonight, Bill?
Okay, I'm going to just go one more. Most of you people probably know who Sinbad, the comedian, is. I had a limousine service, and I was asked to pick up Sinbad at the Sacramento airport. So I went and picked up Sinbad and his opening act. And he came right out, got right in the car, and at that time I had my stretch limo. So he's sitting in the back. I got a lady from Cache Creek calling me saying, do you have Sinbad? Sinbad's telling me, tell her no, no, no. And he's laughing his ass off. So I said to the lady, I said, no, I don't have him. She's panicking. She goes, well, where is he? I said, I have no idea. She said, did you go inside looking for him? I said, I've been there. And Sinbad and this other guy's laughing. And I said, I even went into the restroom. I don't know where Sinbad is. She is panicking. So pretty soon, probably 5 minutes went by. I said, no, I got Sinbad. So everything was good. She says, call me when you get real close to the casino. I was taking him to Cache Creek. So we're on our way to Cache Creek, and I stop the limo probably about 200 yards away. And Sinbad, serious as hell, says, what are you doing? I said, Sinbad, I have to stop. I can't drive no more. I'm in a union, and I can only drive so many miles. Your miles are up. He said, you better get your ass going. That's a true story. That's all I got.
Yeah.